Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can do this. Or should I? Anyway. Hey everybody, what's up? This is Retrokid Reviews. Undercutting my way into this Alien Romulus review. Starting off the top, I am filming this Monday as of the first weekend of its release. This is the closest to, I guess, Romulus gear I can probably make on the fly. It was a bunch of guys trying to steal a ship. We'll get to the plot in a minute, but before that, budget-wise, it was at 80 mil under 20th Century Studios, not 20th Century Fox, for those who still don't know the whole Disney Fox buyout situation 5 years on. And the cast is actually pretty good. Starting at the top, Kelly Spinney, if I got her name right. Last time, I'm not even kidding, here on the channel was when I was reviewing Pacific Rim Uprising 6 years ago. Yeah, surprisingly, she has moved mountains since the last time she was doing a big ticket franchise like this, so good on her. I've heard she also did some decent work with A24's Civil War earlier this year, so I might, I don't know, mention down the end of the year, top 5 movies or whatever, so maybe not. For Isabel Merced, Alien Wu, as Richard, David Johnson, and Spike Pham. These guys are basically the crew that sneaks into the Romulus space station where basically all the Xenomorph stuff happens. So let's get the most obvious out of the way. I am actually a slowly build hardcore fan of Fede Alvarez's work since I want to say his Don't Breathe days of horror filmmaking, and obviously the Evil Dead remake. Go to my Evil Dead month reviews for that. I think that might have been my double review era, so sorry in advance for that, in case. But outside of that, you can definitely tell the guy is franchise-bound, ready for stuff like this, especially in the horror space. And I think it was also produced by Ridley Scott. And yeah, there was like a little bit of his producing charm, not really much of his direction, because like I said, Fede is obviously directing the whole thing forward. The plot of the movie is pretty simple. It takes place in between Alien and Aliens. Go to my retro review in case you guys want to see my context there. And yeah, you guys will see basically how, I guess, terraforming, I think a planet, the company's trying to flip under, like that shake and bake kind of stuff they said in Aliens. You're kind of seeing the terraforming in real time with the power plant, people losing their lives, and the families have to take their jobs, kind of stuff. Seeing how basically corrupt and obviously over the corporatized Willie Tawny was getting in between those movies. And for this crew, they just want to get out and just find a nicer colony somewhere out there that's already fully finished and stuff. And unfortunately, they kind of can't, because that's when the Xenomorphs start showing up. So I'll start with Andy, played by David Johnson. He is kind of up there in the MVP category when it comes to androids throughout this franchise. I think second only to maybe Walter, and basically whenever Michael Fassbender was in the Prometheus era of the franchise. There were some nods to it. We'll get to that in the spoiler section if you guys are here for that. But with that all said, on the whole, it's a good 7 out of 10 movie. So yeah, that's kind of the non-spoilers of it. If you got an idea of the franchise, if you see like the isolation inspiration, if you're anyone, I tried playing that game when it was new at the time. I never really got around to finishing it because I think I might have had a bad code or something had to get patched day of, because I think there was like a horror sequence I was supposed to like step into for the story and just never really got around. I don't know. It's probably a Let's Play bug that I got to figure out a decade on, and I'm pretty much going to probably just watch somebody play it on stream or something along those lines. But you could definitely see how Fede was inspired by that, if anything else, down to even like the proto stuff that ends up becoming later on in Aliens, like the pulse rifle. We'll get to that in that whole third act also by the end. So yeah, the plot of it, like I said, is them trying to get out any way they can because the company's not going to give them shit and they got to do something for it. And seeing like the facehuggers get reheated out of stasis, going in real time, just being all practical stuff, which is I think one of the driving marketing that I think Fede and the crew was trying to do for this movie. And you could definitely tell, I think it was just me being like a guy who's into like hobby stuff like RC cars and obviously Nerf. You could definitely hear like one of them just like skittering around in the facehuggers, and is like, okay, that was totally lipo mod, and that was totally gonna be like probably loud and noisy with like flywheels or something, or maybe like a lipo pack. I'm getting very in the weeds of the technicalities of the effects here. They don't skip on it. It's not as dark as I think some reviewers might have said. It's not like Alien versus Predator Requiem bad with the dark effects. It does brighten up as time goes on when you get deeper into the space station of Romulus. There's a lot of lore between the station itself, because I think there's another second half that I forgot the name of off the top of my head. I'll try to leave the wiki for that. Keep in mind, there will be spoilers down below if you haven't seen the movie, as it is still in theaters as of this recording. So just fair warning right there. And, yeah, so for the first two movie tie-ins, since we're here for spoilers going on forward, you get a lot of Enoch Holmes' version of, not Ash, the robot, but Rook, but it's still basically an Ash bottle type, basically trying to, I guess, manipulate, Andy to basically screw the crew over, save the thing that they were experimenting, and give it to the company for payment and stuff. Basically, mission director first, family friend second kind of shit. And yeah, in Rain's case for Kaylee Spinney, you can definitely see like the familiar ties with this guy, with her and Andy. You can definitely tell like unwritten like brother-sister kind of relationship, even though the guy's synthetic and everything. You don't get a lot of time on the planet they're on, but you can definitely tell how they basically hate the company. They basically are just doing anything they can to get out, kind of stuff. Very cyberpunk vibes, like the 2077 kind, like that kind of storytelling in alien design dressing. So you can definitely see it throughout. And for the crew themselves, they have a lot of familial ties, so I can see one guy kind of twitching, thinking it's gonna be like Covenant again, with a bunch of family members all icing themselves like red shirts. There was only one character that I think kind of looked red shirty, but I wish she wasn't. She was like the only pilot they had, and it kind of makes sense, but it also kind of sounds like you're kind of cheating it out kind of stuff, but not by much, honestly. Overall, when you finally get to see the proto stuff, like the proto pulse rifle, I guess the rug pull fourth act with a studio pull that I'm not even going to try to mention here, even in the spoiler section, because it's what everyone was thinking was the most divisive in the lore. I'll say this, just to keep it you guys interesting, please go see this in theaters. This is actually a lot of love. You could definitely see, like, at times it was probably pitched to go to streaming, maybe Hulu, just like in Prey last time, when I'll go to my review for that. But I'm happy that it went to theaters. I'm happy it's getting its money back. I think it got 41 mil over a budget of 80 mil. So for an average horror movie like this, it'll definitely get its money back. It's more elevated, obviously, with that 80 mil because it is the Aliens franchise, and this year is their 45th anniversary of the first movie. So you could see the celebration of like the 70s ties, the retrofuturism, even down to the tech with the ships, the docking into like their company's ship going, the cargo ship going into the Romulus. Like there's a lot of like bunch of pieces that looks miniaturish. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a sequence that was made by miniatures. That would be actually be cool in the bonus features if you guys get the Blu-rays or when it's on digital or whatever later in streaming. Would love to see Fede talk about that to death. I think in the marketing, he mentioned his favorite sequence was heavily marketed throughout the trailers, was the cryo sequence with the facehuggers reviving themselves and going into their first like facehug. And yeah, you can see it being tighter than it looks. When you see the sea itself, it breathes a little better than what the marketing is leading on to, honestly. And yeah, there was some cool ZRG stuff that if you were at an IMAX screening would totally be worth it, honestly. Just seeing ZRG final act characters just diving through acidic blood and stuff. It was actually pretty fun. So, like I said, this is a 7.5 out of 10, probably later on a rewatch. As is, it's a straight 7 for me. But honestly, it's really a good win. It has one scene that could divide the fan base, but not by much. I've seen this fan base get divided by way worse. Just saying that off the gate. This isn't like Star Wars level bad of like, okay, we're rehashing stuff, but we're also gonna add this new thing because reasons. It's there, but unlike the Star Wars franchise, it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's just for like the last act sequence. You're there if you're there. If you want to speed run that just to get to like the closeout lines and stuff like that, that's on you. I literally just got back from the theater, so I don't know if this has a post-credit. If so, probably ending explained here, in case there was. I don't think there is. I don't think this franchise needs post-credits, in my humble opinion. And with that all being said, and taking forever to get this pulse rifle to work, by the way, what are your thoughts of Alien Romulus? What do you think of the cast? What do you think of the crew? What do you think of Fede Alvarez's resume as a filmmaker? Please let me know in the comments down below. And proto shots here. To sub to the channel, hit the notification bell down below for the end cards. Over here to my previous video, which was my retro review of Aliens. And over here with an undergun shot, to my shorts playlist for probably my upcoming full short for Critical Role episodes 104 for Campaign 3, and I think I have to skip another short I was planning to do for the full trailer for I think Kamara Gab, because this week I'm going to try to do catch up for Toku, and then maybe a retro review for Terminator finally, just to get in time for Terminator Zero's anime later this month. So until next time, this is Retrokid Review saying, wow, a good-ish alien movie for once. Good on you, 20th Century. Keep it up, seriously.